So I've imported my image from Lightroom into Photoshop, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new layer. So I'm just going to press Command J on the Mac, which will give me a new layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to Image, and I'm going to come down to Adjustments, and I'm going to come down to Curves. And I'm just going to click on this Options icon, and I've set my algorithm within this little tab to find and dark light colours. And you can just click this if it isn't already preset on your machine, and then just save as default. And by doing this, it will just kind of increase the white balance, just to kind of like how it really should be. So if I just click the on and the off, this is before and this is after, you can see straight away the dramatic effect it's already had. And again, I can adjust this the way that I'd like it to look. So I can sort of decrease it or increase it. So I'm going to leave this around about 90%. Oh, in actual fact, I'll take up to 100 because you can actually see it'll be a bit more vibrant on the screen. And then I'm just come up to the layers, and I'm just going to flatten this now, and that's going to be my starting point. Now I've made a couple of presets for kind of the things that I do with waterfalls and sort of autumnal colour, and I'll teach you how to do this in another video at some stage. So for now, I've got my first kind of preset, which is my first touch. And this is just a combination of layers that I've created and recorded. So as you can see, this one's reducing the noise. Another one will sort of do some sharpening and just sort of build histograms and just give the overall image a little bit more punch. This will take a bit of time, but if I was to sort of make a video of this, it would take forever. So the presets just speed up the process and make my workflow a lot quicker. And this will just create a series of layers on top of my original background image. So you can see the layers there now. So if I just click on here, you can see all of the layers. Now what I want to do is I want to merge these layers down so I've got more control of them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down to this little icon here, and this is just allowing me to make a little layer mask. And I want to invert this just by pressing Command I, which will turn it black. So it means that when I paint over the top of the white brush, the actions I've created will be revealed. So it's a bit like tracing paper. So if I just take my brush, I'll just increase the size of my brush, I can just start to paint on the foliage. And this will start to lift this foliage just a little bit. Just give a bit more vibrance to the foliage. Now obviously I don't want to paint over the water because I don't want that to change colour. But what I can do is I can just use this just to a little bit colour to the rocks. Just lift those rocks just slightly. And if I just click on here, you can see the before and the after. And if it's a little bit too coarse for your liking, you can just tone the opacity down. So that's looking a lot better already. So as you can see, there's the before and there's the after. It's just giving a little bit more light to the whole image. And then a couple of other little layers I've created. I've just got one here for dark foliage. So I'm just going to click on here. I'll take this down to around about 70%. Same thing. I'm just going to paint on these bushes, on this foliage. I'll just lift this foliage slightly. Just makes it look almost like 3D-ish. So I'm doing this really quickly just to demonstrate the kind of techniques I use. And then finally, in terms of foliage, I've got another one here called Bright Foliage. I'm going to take this down around to about 10%. And this will just, I can just add some red in, just increase the oranges and the yellows. And the secret here is just to add it in a few places. You don't want it all over, but particularly where there's red or oranges, it will just lift the foliage. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that, and that's looking quite nice. Now, if that's a little bit too saturated, you can go to each of these layers and you can just adjust to your kind of how you perceive the image to look. And then finally, I'm just going to add a vignette, probably around about the 15% mark. That's looking quite nice. Just draws your eye a little bit. And then finally, I'm just going to cut the bottom of the image off because I don't want these pebbles in the image. Just click there, and the image is almost looking done. And as I said, I've just left this even more saturated just to give you an idea of what I'm doing. And then finally, I'm just going to flatten all of these layers down. And then I'm just going to sharpen image finally, which I've got as add more detail. This will take a while. It's a 16-bit file, and this is another preset that I've already made. So this will take quite some time. So I'm just going to cancel this for now, because that'll take far too long for the video. But what you'll end up with is you'll end up with a really quite a sharp image, and again you can adjust the opacity. I usually set it around about 20 to 22% because you've already got the 10% you've done in Lightroom. So you end up with about between 27 and about 30% sharpening, but it just will really make your image stand out. And that's it. That's my process to processing waterfalls. I hope you found that useful and maybe picked up a few tips. If you've got any suggestions or any comments, please get in contact with me. And I'll see you soon on how to make your own layers. Thanks for watching.